Hi, I'm your light shaman. Are you experiencing unpleasant energies in your home and surroundings and waking up in the middle of the night? My work involves clearing individuals, homes, and communities. Contact me at www.lightshaman.earth and I would be happy to help.
And greetings there, sweet, sweet dear ones, sweet dearly beloveds. Greetings there to Huna Ake joining us as well, taking care of all things behind the scenes. I also would like to announce that the show is being brought to you also by firelightcontinuum.earth, and you can find that at www.flc.earth, flc.earth, for your high vibration clothing and high energy card readings and high frequency designs. Go to flc.earth, Firelight Continuum.
Do they need the www as well? Because we have issues with that.
Do we have? Yes, we do. I'm afraid we're still continuing with the World Wide Web.flc.earth. Okay. Perhaps I should just continue saying it like that, because I often forget how many W's I'm saying.
You end up saying 4.
Yeah. Sometimes I think I only say 2. But World Wide Web.flc.earth. There you go. More details on that business a little bit later on. We happy to be here today. Good to see you, Huna Tamake. I see you're back from a Stargate. You made it home safely. Mm-hmm. Fantastic. Let's say hello to sweet, sweet dear ones here. Dearly beloveds, Louise from California. Wow, wow. Tom Shaw from Minnesota. I used to say Minnesota. Sometimes when I was over there doing work, the most common phrase I heard was, yeah, oh yeah, Minnesota, oh yeah.
Mahari Wa'ata, I think, can confirm that because she's from Minnesota, isn't she?
No doubt.
Is it Minneapolis? I don't remember which.
Well, it's all here. Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, don't you know?
Yeah. So there's Minnesota up there. Tom Shaw, thanks for being here. Full Throttle Girl T1111. Now, Northeast Kansas. Who would that be, Full Throttle Girl? Perhaps we'll get to see you if you can offer up a question. Welcome to Huna Mahari Wa'ata. Mahari Wa'ata. Congratulations on the fundraising. Excuse me, the fundraising. I've got something stuck in my esophagus.
Is it a hummingbird?
Sarcophagus, my sarcophagus. The hummingbird in my sarcophagus, an ancient one. Yes, Mahari Wa'ata. Congratulations on the fundraising. We're pleased to support where we can, a little bit here, a little bit there for the Hunas who are in mission. And Mahari Wa'ata will be in mission, supporting Burning Mask in Vancouver. Let you know a little bit about that very shortly. Also, Lenora C. Hello, Hunas. Hello, Lenora. And Huna Tarakuya. Much love to you there, Kim. And Starseed Energy. Wawa. Starseed Energy. Wawa. Well, I thought today, today's call, I'm coming to you from Hamburg, Germany, from the portal of the tiny bird. Okay. And today I just thought that I would share a bit about, maybe a lot about, the work we did at the Stargate 22. Wow, what a buzz that was. What an alignment. So many numbers aligned and so much energies and synchronicities aligned. And as we are in mission to guarantee. To guarantee. What are we guaranteeing? Well, we are in mission to guarantee uh, the return of the people's voice in a unified way. So, what is the voice? What's the voice saying? I hear voices all the time, right? I'm trying to understand if they're all saying the same thing: love, peace, and long life to everybody. It's so yes. To chat a little bit about the return of the people's voice. Um, in parentheses, do no harm. Yes, do no harm. What is harm? What is the voice? What is the harm we could that possibly could come about by and a non-aligned voice, non-unified voices? And how do we speak to an aligned voice? How do we speak in an aligned way without stressing each other out? You know what I mean? Because we're all ultimately saying the same thing. Sometimes it's quite confusing. But I thought I'd share a little bit about that as we had completed the mission at Stargate. Now, some very interesting developments also this past week, and also like today. I just heard intel today that 30,000 truck drivers have gone on strike and they've actually stopped shipping. 30,000 in the United States. That is a lot of companies that are not getting their goods and services and products to market. 30,000. That includes your inexpensive name brands from Walmart and your Home Depots and these kinds of stores. And I'm sure that number is going to increase in the companies. There must be a lot more than just those two I mentioned. What does this mean? This is a collapse. Is it an undoing? Is it a collapse? Is this what we had guaranteed to happen? So many things have happened, and we put them into the intention, especially in the work that we do, to collapse the things and pull the things down that do not serve. The undoing is not only of the threat that was posed to you through the religious connotations, but also through the um, the wants and needs through society, what humanity needs to get through the day on a daily basis. Also, those things are undoing. As we move to a higher vibration with products and services, things have to be undone. And they were all these undoings, these words I'm saying, these intentions were all put into the ceremonies as I went on the journey of the undoings through the Michael Mary line. These were not only about your love and about and about divine union of masculine and feminine. That's beside it all. The most important part for humanity and society is on the daily levels within the 3D that need to be catered to raise them up to high vibration. In other words, getting past all the stories and speaking directly to code and blueprint. There's less words there. There are less arguments there. There are less stresses at that place where we are speaking these codes and these intentions to these powerful ceremonies that we are doing. Everybody's in ceremony. I give you that. Not saying you're not. If you're at home meditating and you're doing remote work, checking into others, I give you that. Sure, that's okay. That's a part of it. That's a small part of it. There is a much difficult challenge to get to the places where we guarantee. And you know this. As we speak these words, where we, as I'm sharing that we come to a unified voice, we must come to the honest truth. Really, the honest truth. What is that honest truth? Whether you feel that you're putting in enough energy and enough forces, that you are a part of all that's making changes. Yes, you are. Let's just speak to the honest truth of a certain level of capacity to that. Yeah, what it is you can capacitate, and then what it is that is being capacitated by those that are showing up in the field and going to the places to guarantee the word, guarantee your intention. That's not a better than, not better than, not level up, not, it's all still equal. However, let us give love and thanks and gratitude, yeah, to where it lays. And let's be honest about that. I've heard things recently, words being shared, stories being shared in a certain style of words, colorful enough, colorful enough to try to blanket over, um, to blanket over where those actual stories and words had been learnt. Yeah, had been learnt, had been, let me say, copied. There is a lot of copying going on, and seeing word for word, and I've certainly seen my words being shared around, which not a matter of copying, but as a matter of just sharing. But there are certain individuals that are going out speaking in the name of and speaking on behalf of plagiarizing words and stories and claiming them for themselves. And you've probably heard some of these and are confused by that, because you also may have heard where they were originally spoken. And yes, there are some words that have been spoken for the ancient times now, but there are words that haven't been spoken and have only just recently been shared. Codes, you know. And there are colorful series of words and stories out there. Let me share one colorful. As we are talking about the people's voice, the return of the people's voice, do no harm. What is the people's voice? Of course, there's many stories, many intentions. They all been being shared, and all been hearing and listening to so much. I will share one with you. The story about the eye of mother sharing to the many races of humanity through the eye of mother. Yeah. And through the needle. Okay, the eye, through the eye of mother, to share to the divine codes and the divine blueprints to the many colors of humanity, of the mother and of father, of the child. Well, let me share a version of that was spoken in 1986. Specifically speaking to the eye, when this perspective of eye, of course, there's Horus's eye and all the eye and the all-seeing eye. We are not talking about that eye. In this story that I heard, this is specific to the eye of mother. 1986, and I will share this. If you have not heard this, I will share this with you. Before the harmonic convergence came in 1987, 1986, I attended my induction as a Huna to be ceremony to be inducted and graduated from the School of the Special Bird. At that time, August 14th, 1986, there was the raising of the mother. Okay, the mother had risen already. The mother was being brought by the light of Father back into the light of days. And this was being celebrated by a great many elders around the world, where at that time I become a Huna at that very ceremony. And though everybody talks about the feminine rising here and the divine mother and the divine father today, those are all speaking. This happened. This very ceremony happened 1986 with the raising of the statue of Mother, 22 feet tall, and to be received into the light of days as Tingira o Te Ao, the eye of the needle. This is what that means. So, with all the colorful words and all the colorful words and expressions being shared out there, including the word the needle or the eye, and including the phrases and the verses of um, sharing to humanity the divine codes of mother and of father. It's so many words that are like 2 or 3 or 10 paragraphs long on Facebook and everywhere else. It's huge amounts of words that are saying nothing. And then what it really comes down to is this. And this was spoken then in 86. Te ngira o te ao is all you have to say. When you learn this, and there is learning, is there not? Let that be the teacher. Te ngira o te ao. Okay? The eye of the needle that threads the many colors of the world. And colors do not have a gender. Colors meaning of all the races of humanity, not just about the genders. Because all races of humanity have many, let us say, mothers and fathers and children. Let me just say that. And so 12 letters is a blueprint code of the 4 powers. Te ngira o te ao being one of the 4 powers. There's some learning here. There is some learning. I invite you to listen to what I'm saying here. Take this in as you begin to undo your vocabulary and pull down the words that are not needed to come to the voice of the people and return to the voice of the people. And my understanding, the voice of the people is less color, more codes, blueprint at the most powerful place of the essence of the codes of mother, father, child, and the eternal memory. That one being, and that one set of 12 letters being Te ngira o te ao, the eye of the needle that threads the many colors of the world. That says it all. It has the divine within it. Te ngira o te ao. And that was agreed upon, and that was accepted by all mothers and all fathers who were at that ceremony. Let me tell you, there were many. And let me tell you, the table of the 13 tribes were assembled at that gathering. This is not just one person going off and saying whatever. This was an instruction, and this was a divine directive brought across by my elder from many elders who agreed to this at the table, so they could take this phrase, Te ngira o te ao, in their language and take it back with them to their people. And when I say their people, I'm talking about the Hebrew people, the Arabic, the First Nations, and the Native American communities, the Lama, the Tibetans, the Rinpoches, including the Europeans, the Druids, and also the Viking elders, and many of Lemuria. So they received this instruction spoken of as Te ngira o te ao, and that was shared out to all the many tribes. And that was the raising of the mother to be recognized. And we recognized, and all the world recognized 1986 as the time when mother was raised and brought again into the light of days consciousness of many. Many of you listening there were born then. That's because mother was rising then and having a lot of babies, of which you are a product of. Yeah. 1986. If you're in your 30s and 40s even, you're roughly in that number. And if you are speaking about the Divine Mother right now, and you are in your practices and modalities, remember what I'm saying to you here. There's only one phrase to speak of the Divine Mother and masculine and the Father, and the threading of the humanity. And that phrase is Tingida or Teao. And I'll share that just finally with this understanding is that this was 1 full year before the harmonic convergence took place in the entire globe. And the entire globe, the entire spiritual communities around the world, everybody, I would say, that is spiritual, celebrated the harmonic convergence. 1 year later, exact month, August 14th, between August 14th and 17th of the same weekend, a year later, after the mother was raised, so that there could be a harmonic convergence. There would not have been a harmonic convergence had the feminine been raised and brought into the light of days once again to be seen. That has already happened, and that is why I always speak to you. The mother has already risen. The feminine has already risen. Go and see and find her. She is there. Take a look at yourself. If you're feminine, take a look. If you're masculine, take a look. We have already risen. That has already taken place. Why? Because it's now 40, 30 plus years later, which things always take 30 years on that kind of level. We were ahead of schedule. And I want to, as I share that with you, in completion of the Tingira o Te Ao, get that in your ear, Tingira o Te Ao, right? The threading, the eye of the needle that threads the many colors of humanity, which is always divine. Okay? Okay. If you have a question about that, please share. Come and share that question online. We can give you the link to come on the screen.
Join
Pleasure to
us.
have you. Huh?
Join us.
Come and join us.
Do it.
Don't be shy. I won't bite. Hard. Okay. Yeah, so this is live and interactive, don't you? All right, let's see all those risen feminines and masculines. Let's see all those divine balances pop in here and ask the question. I would be happy to roll around on the words with you. Okay, so what am I saying? Codes. They are available. They have been available. And there are phrases, some 6 letters, some 12 letters, some, maybe, but certainly not whole tablets full, unless it's a whole lot of codes, but certainly a set of phrases that is incredibly, incredibly powerful. So, Tignito o Te Ao, remember that one. There is another one. Yeah, like, Huna, you say I must share these teachings properly. No, I'm not going to share them properly. I'm going to share them the way I'm sharing them here. This is properly. Okay, come on. They've got to come on. You got to come on. You never know what I'm going to say. That's the whole point. And if I let you know what I'm going to say, then you might like, now I already know that. I don't think I'll show up. And that happens. Trust me, more than not that happens. That these are being shared to. I think I shared through some of these through the Dragon Masters course. So go ahead, go into the Dragon Masters course if you haven't already. Is this something we should repeat frequently? Why not, Claire? Tingiro te ao, tingiro te ao, tingiro te ao. Why not? Why not? Oh, you want proper? Oh, now you want proper spelling, Kim. You're asking for a whole lot, aren't you? Just say it. You can spell it however you want to. You can spell it in 30 letters. I only have 12, so you can hear what I'm saying. Te ngira o te ao. Yeah, you can play that back later. and then practice it. And if you've practiced it, you know, you don't need to write it down. Let me tell you, when I was in the mystery schools, we weren't allowed pen and paper. So what makes you think, you know, I mean, you're so lucky you get this on video. Yeah. For when I was at the mystery school, we had to sit on the hard floor for hours. No pen, we just, nothing to record, and we just had to listen. I'm giving you the benefits here. You're getting video, and you can repeat it back. What I say, "Tingiro o te ao" means you have to deep listen, right? Deep listen. Oh, your website may desire to share this. Well, you first need to become a dragon master before you start sharing these things out. Yeah, otherwise you don't. You really need more than just one phrase. Hey, here's a Huna right here. Huna katuama.
I'll leave it alone. You can hit it.
Are we? Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
We were hitting it at the same time. Huna, how are ya?
Yeah, I'm good.
Bonjour, bonjour, mademoiselle.
Bonjour.
Huna katuama. Ça va,
I
ça va.
cannot hear you very well for some reason.
Turn your speaker up. No.
Let's see.
Turn up your monitoring. Maybe you can wear headphones. Now we have another Huna standing on deck.
Now
That's
it's
all good.
better.
It's better. Ah,
Yes.
ça va, ça va.
Oui.
C'est bien. Hey, I
Good.
was gonna try to. I couldn't find your contact to see if you could share the Dragon Rider in France, because I'm having it in France this weekend.
Oh, you are coming to France?
Yeah, this Friday.
Oh, and where?
I'm be at Toulouse at Montbrun. Montbrun,
Toulouse.
near Toulouse.
Toulouse is south. It's
A bit
it's
south.
1,000 kilometers from where I am.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But I thought maybe you could share the contact for me.
Yes. I don't have a lot of network in France because I was mainly in Holland, but
That's okay.
please share. Please send me. I will send you my email. And
Yes, please. Because I couldn't find you on the Signal. I thought you were on Signal.
yeah,
Anyway.
I should be. Yeah.
But okay.
No.
Shoot the email across to over here on the chat after.
On the chat, yes.
Yeah. Good to see you.
Yeah.
What's happening?
I was trying to make you a bit better here, but never mind. I will leave
Make
it.
me a bit better. Someone can make me a bit better. That's okay.
No, I'm in the screen. No, you are great. You are great. You're doing great.
Oh my goodness! Thank you for that.
And yeah, I was joining because, well, it's nice to join. It's nice to connect together. And I am currently leading a 40-day practice, inspiration and spiritual practice to work on the theme of abundance. So I wanted to get your energies and insight and wisdom on this.
Yeah, I love that. You know, I mean, I like to replace the word abundance with this code. E4 equals MC cubed. Can you write that down?
Oh, hold on.
Or just you know, I'll also put it in the thing. My computer wants to behave itself here.
Okay, so
E4, the number 4.
E4
equals
equal
M as in Mary,
M
C for Charlie,
C
cubed, CUBED, cubed.
MC and then
MC cubed.
so another C and UBE.
Yeah, CUBED. Let me write it in the thing.
Okay. Okay.
Let's see, cubed. There you go. Meaning, what it means is abundance that just went multidimensional.
Oh no, we
Okay.
lost her.
She also went multidimensional. Hey. Well, hopefully she comes back. No doubt Katuama will. This is, there you are. Hey.
Yes. Okay, so I heard abundance means reaching multidimensional.
Yes. So in other words, abundance going multidimensional rather than as it is a kind of a flat language, abundance. It's in again, abundance. It's abundance. You know, a a dance. But okay, um, um, E4 equals mc cubed is a calculation from relativity that Einstein
Mm-hmm.
um, put out. But one thing that we were, and I was for a long time, and there were others thinking about this too, quite curiously, and that was quite funny. But I was thinking about mc E equals mc squared, which is flat, like two-dimensional,
Mm-hmm.
barely even three-dimensional. So there was, it's like it was missing a couple of calculations. There was missing a couple of additions, which was to me felt like it was missing love.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
You
Mm-hmm.
know, for the longest time, it was kind of flat, a kind of a flat. Well, I get everything is relative to one another, but okay, where's love in that? Because that is a challenge, you know? The love is a challenge. It's unconditional, so that's a challenge. Where is it in the calculation? So I come up with this.
Mm.
E4,
Yeah.
not just E equals. E4, meaning E4 is multidimensional. So E represents everything,
Yeah.
everyone, everywhere, every time. So
Yes.
everything for everyone, everywhere, every day. You know, I've spoken of this years ago.
Yeah, and it's very real in my experience in my life. This
Yeah,
uh, one in the many, many in the one. All your talking, all your teaching is becoming more and more perceivable in my awareness.
absolutely. That perception is now growing. You're kind of aligning and synchronizing more to because it was kind of ahead of itself a little bit. I guess
Mm-hmm.
some things were more ahead of each other, like by 30 years. Some things were only 5 years ahead of schedule. So I think that was one of them. There were a few, but the E4 equals mc cubed means it's boxed, means it goes from a square, flat two-dimensional square to a multi-dimensional box. So it moves into the box, the cube, and everything available within the cube is multi-dimensional. So it's quantum for sure. Okay, but it
Right.
also as that quantumness has evolved within there, love has become multidimensional. So,
Yes.
you know, within that unconditional love and quantum evolving additional love, unconditional love, um, the growth of everything for everyone, everywhere, every day is expanding rapidly. So when you speak this E4 equals MC cubed, it's expanding it rapidly, eternally, infinitely, um, instantly.
Yeah.
Is it a manifestation? I wouldn't use manifestation. I would say that it doesn't need to manifest because it's already here. It's available. So the availability of it, all that's needed is the speaking, right? So if you speak the abundance, that's one way. I think that takes time. I think
Mm.
it's a bit of a slow reaction when that
Yeah.
word is utilized, when that communication is transmitted, because it's only two-dimensional. Their language of English and certain words are like fake you out, you know. They're like totally not even what they mean, you know. Abundance. Well, the dance of the bun. Fine. What's a dance of the bun? What is it? A bun? A donut? What is it? A cream bun? Coffee bun? What is that? There's so much confusion there.
Yeah.
So the calculation and blueprint codes. This is kind of what I was speaking about when I said Te Ngiro o Te Ao, 12 letters, an incredible phrase, speaks to the threading of the many colors of humanity and all the tribes coming and threading together and into all genders, all mothers, fathers, and children. Now, as we apply, if we apply E4 equals MC cubed to that as well, you get a very powerful phrase and a very powerful verse, very powerful chorus, even if it's just a chorus of a couple of phrases. Te Ngiro o Te Ao, E4 equals MC cubed. Now you're threading it. Right?
Yeah. And there's a weaving, and
yeah, weaving.
There's a clearing of old layers. I feel I've been now on day 7 or 8, and I feel there's layers of purging and clearing, and layers of opening and expanding, and even welcoming the new realities like the unborn, and it includes everything into the flow, all the dimension. And also it feels I felt connected also with your stone, Pavan Kotan, for the Lord of Time.
Yeah, Pakal Votan.
Pakal Votan. It also came into the picture to look at highest timeline and collapsed timeline or something like that.
Yes, timetables. Timetables. Timetables versus time itself. But timetables is like a schedule, like a moment, like a schedule. Time and popping you into a not necessarily a timeline, but that's also spoken about like a calendar or a schedule, like a bus schedule, like a train schedule, like a timetable of moments where you could pop in. And there are many still that's accessible. The time lapse, time itself is. We talk about timelines collapsing. The intention is collapsing into one intention, creating the collapse of timelines into one convergence. But the actual access to time schedules and timetables is still available. Moments are still available because of the historic future. There is a timetable where that's a timetable where they are accessible. Those moments, the moments of let's just say E4 equals MC cubed is available in a historic future timetable. So when you look at a bus schedule or a train schedule, this is all daily routing and when to go from one stairs to the other. those exist because those are moments. They are not necessarily time. They are moments, and they're in the wairua, the memory, or if you like, the akashic, and they have timetables in there. The historic future would hold what it is, the growth that you are asking about, the growth that exists in the historic future, that exists there in the historic future, that's accessible because the growth become historic. Once it's grown, the next growth happens. So it instantly becomes historic, meaning it's instantly placed into a timetable. Get on the bus. get on the bus and get on the train, and you don't need a ticket. Just come on board. You know, that's the song.
Yeah.
That's a great song. That's a great song. What's the song? Jesus, that's a great song. Just escaping me now. I just want to sing it. It's like a beautiful song.
Take on the
Get
train.
on board.
Yeah.
Don't need no ticket for the doors and borders. Wait, I forgot the rest. Anyway, you know the song I mean. Just get on the bus, get on the train, get on the boat, get on board, because the future historic, it is here already, and it is the way that mostly many times the way we talk to it kind of lags us behind a bit. Just some of the languaging, and it's like I said a while ago, I said the vocabulary can now change, and we can now say less things, less words, with more the sounds and the phrases that have much more multi-dimensional power and access to them, rather than all of this la 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 la. I mean, I go on all day sometimes, right? I don't, I'm not exclusive to it. Talk a lot of crap sometimes, right? To get around it. But there's some things in there I think that that we can share, like, and that's what I think about abundance. It's fine, but I think it's a little too dimensional.
Yeah. I was also calling it flow. Actually, I imagine it's about flow.
I suppose. I suppose.
Expansion.
Can you explain flow? Like, what are the things that impede flow? What are the things that resist and block flow? What are
Yes.
those things? So if you
Yeah.
want to talk flow, then you got to go and find out what's impeding you.
Yeah.
And then and then oftentimes, I said this the other day: get out of your own way, right? And just allow things. So you got to get out of your own way. But everybody knows that, right? So allow things to flow. You got to get out of your own way. How do you get out of your own way if you don't even know what is in the flow?
Yeah.
How do you get out of your own way? It's like, how do you even wake up when you don't know how to wake up, when you can't remember to wake up? But somebody has to wake you up, and they can't just yell and scream at you. They have to do the things to wake you up. Of course, I think I'm helping. If we're sharing enough, I think we're helping each other for sure. And we're getting confirmations from each other for sure. That's wonderful. So flow, I suppose but there's current as well, right? Current and currency. Current. Are they locked into? Current is locked into a kind of what do they call that? The table. It's locked into a table, periodic table, because they use the periodic table. And so if you say periodic table, and I'm saying timetable, okay, the bus schedule, the train schedule, then okay. But also in that periodic table, they work with elements, and this is what created currency for the banks, dollars, money. Money was created out of that periodic timetable, the periodic table, in an elemental way. So what is current? What is currency? What is flow? What resists the flow? And it could be a multiple number of things, number of issues. Of course, you would know. I mean, you would know certainly by testing it in a way. You could test that flow and you could test that current. You could send something somewhere and expect some kind of return in a simple way. Okay, that's one flow. You really have to understand flow. So I kind of get out of the way of the flow, For me, it's still about the E4 equals MC cubed, and then it's like being in the Metatron's high vibration cube. Now that it's been fixed, that it's been re-energized, Metatron's cube, which inside is multidimensional. So I put myself in that place inside. Let me say inside the abundance, dancing inside the bun, dancing inside it. I suppose is one way, but you'd have to still come from the position of the E4 equals MC cube. You still have to come from the cube if you are to dance from inside the cube and from inside the abundance. You'd have to come from the cube in order to understand that you are inside everything, and everything is inside you.
Yeah.
How does that relieve your pain and suffering? how does that relieve your position in life, right? Wow. Simplify things.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but it goes back to simplifying. What is flow? What resists flow? Well, the less things in the way, the less resistance there is. So the simpler the channel, let's just say you live in a tunnel, and you got in the tunnel, yeah, you got a TV, you got a couch, you got a kitchen table, and the water comes rushing through that tunnel. You're sitting on your couch, and you've got everything bolted down so nothing can move. Everything's battened down really tight, like you gripping everything hard. The water's got to find a way to flow through there, so there's resistance.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, if you toss out the kitchen table and the couch, you let them go, then you have less resistance.
Yeah.
What does your life look like? How simple can your life get?
Yeah.
Not that it's a tunnel, but
and then it becomes a hollow hollow tube. And
well, does it? Does it mean that? Does it mean that you hold the keys to the access of that tunnel? So your front door and your back door, so you can channel that flow in a way. So you've created another tunnel that you have access to, kind of like a bank account where things flow into and then flow out of. You know what I mean? But not a bank account, but in a way that you're receiving everything to come in and have less resistance. Building another dimension. That's exactly what it is. Building multiple dimensions.
My experience is I work so much with energy that there is a lot of flow on energy level, but less and less on denser materialization. Everything becomes energetic and consciousness in a way.
Well, go and live in a cave then, I suppose, hey?
I think I do that again.
You gonna do it again? Live on the beach, Playa del Carmen, PDC, baby. Ride a bicycle. Get rid of the car. Put your store, the grocery store is right next door to you. The butcher is right next door to you. All your entertainment is just around you, quite amusing, and total value because it costs you nothing to watch everything go by. And then, because this is what I do, and then you got a bicycle, you just ride to the beach and become amused. Sit at the beach and meditate, do your powata, do your practices. Very simple life, but yet, and when you want to make it complicated, you get on a plane and you go to Europe. You get to the United States, you get really complicated.
I have to do the other way. I have to come to Mexico.
Oh well, that's another thing, okay? Because again, I talked about this in the magnetic field. If you're talking about materials and non-material, and energy, the magnetic energy where you live, where I am, even here in Germany right at this moment, it's just so much fluxing going on. It is getting better, but I still know it's a lot of confusion swirling around in the magnetic field. When I'm at home in Mexico, I'm in this kind of a slipstream where things seem to slip through. I'm available. I give myself the opportunity to let them just flow through. And I seem because just right where I live is between these two vortex energies of north and south, polar opposites, whatever you want to call it. As magnetic energies are swirling, and they're all trying to fighting their way to hold a position, whatever the intentions are, they're fighting for position, right? But in that area where I am, I'm like, wow, that's why I still live there. I've been there not that long, coming into 6 years now, and I just love it. Yeah, it's tough to come up into Europe and go down into the southern hemisphere in those vortexes, but that's the work. You know, I get
Yeah.
myself ready for it, and off I go. But you know, I wouldn't, you know, I would invite everybody to come to the slipstream anywhere near where I live or anywhere in that vicinity. Um, you give yourself time, and you'll be able to give yourself the freedom to enjoy some of the real simple things, sleeping in, yeah, and getting paid for it, or maybe not paid, but receiving your what you say, the energies while you're sleeping in, eating well, and your choice whether you want to eat a lot or less, you know, and it's available. These are very simple things, such availability. Yeah, I don't know. That's a whole lot of stuff we just went around there, Huna,
Yeah.
in the
Nice.
name
Thank
of
you.
abundance.
Yeah.
Well, so you know, you got what's your decision then? You got an answer to this? You got a decision here to make? But
Um, no, I feel a little bit in a vacuum at the moment. Like this
hmm,
summer, it's like not much is going on. Like I am a healer, so and there's not much request, and I'm just taking the time to do my inner work and purging and cleansing and receiving my energies, the new energies, and I feel we are collectively going through something at the moment. So maybe it's a good thing that I'm not focused outside and just focus in.
yep,
Um, yeah, and
absolutely
I
at
don't
this
know.
time.
Hmm.
So I don't
I
know.
will
You
see.
know, what would you do? You would be working to less is more as an approach. Less is more. It takes
Yeah,
time. It takes
yeah,
time to be liked, let alone loved. And then you have
yeah.
to back that up. You also got to back that up. And once you do, then things I feel like then things kind of just start flowing in,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah. I'm changing from, let's say, a healer on one-on-one session to being more like on a program with people where we go on a journey together. So it's not just one-on-one event, but let's see how we grow on a more maybe 4 or 5 months um, journey
Yeah.
of expansion, ascension, all those things, you know?
Well, if you, I mean, we've been doing that.
Mm.
We
Yeah,
have
you
been
do.
going
You
through
do.
that. I do, but I mean, just look at the globe. Oh my goodness, it's
Mm.
amazing. Uh,
Yeah,
some keep saying, you know, it's an amazing time to be here, to be alive right now, to be here right now.
yeah.
Um, and it is. It's also just we were meant to be here now, right? Because the evolution and expansion that's happening now, it's so incredible. The expansion, like if we just talk about finances, the BRICS nations, the geopolitical senses are really aligning to the E4 equals MC cubed. That
Yeah.
really is moving into higher, multi-dimensional gifting for humanity. And it's had to take some stresses to do that. So the light working very diligently behind the scenes. And some of
Yes.
those light workers and many of those light workers we know. And I know some of them, many of them are Hunas. I know what you're doing. That
Yeah.
it's really helping. And I gotta say it that way, not just because I love the Hunas. Again, there's tools that we work with that are the Lemurian tools you work with, and I'm like they are like no other. Like
Mhm.
draconian tools just don't cut it. I'm afraid they do not. That's what they're meant to do. They're meant to fool you and obstruct you, and sometimes you don't even notice. But on the other side, the Lemurian side, it's just wide open. Just keeps giving. The gift that keeps giving. And I'm noticing, I'm feeling it every day.
Mm.
I want that for you. I want that for
Thank you.
everyone. This is why we met in those years ago to do what we did to align and then come back together when you're ready to speak. And this is what's happening. Hunas will come back. They will come and go. When they're ready to come back, we'll chat again. You know, there's some, there's some. Let that be the teacher. In other words, let that be the teacher. All right, Huna. Hey, somebody just said Einstein. Wasn't Einstein a deep state puppet who stole his research from his wife, among many things as math and all of these other stuff? Yeah, whatever. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. If you know the full truth to it, the understanding of it, though, whether it was from his wife that shared the E equals MC squared, well, now we have E4 equals MC cubed. So we don't have to worry about that now.
Yes. And we include love and multidimensionality in it. So that's
exactly.
Great,
We can put the love in there, which ultimately probably what his wife understood as well. Anyway, thanks, Huna. Send me the email in the comment or the private chat, if you will.
Yeah.
I'd just like to share it to wherever you're at, because you know more people there than I do.
Yes. I will send it in the chat. Thank you. Yeah.
Thanks, Huna. Good to see you again. Wawa.
Wawa.
Now we've got Mahari Wata left. So now we have Nikota. Nikota. Hello, love.
Can you hear me?
Yes, very well.
Oh,
Who do we have here?
I'm Nikota, and the reason that I've come on is when you were saying about them, what was it, the eye of the needle?
Yes.
And what it brought up for me was about it's, in a sense, it's creating the new tapestry. It is for life.
Absolutely.
It is.
Absolutely. That is exactly as part of it. Absolutely. The many colors of the tapestry. Yeah. Where are you? Are you Aussie? No.
No, I'm in UK.
You're in the UK.
I am.
You sound like you're from Australia, though. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to offend you.
No, you didn't offend me. No, we're multidimensional, so nothing new.
Nice. Yeah. So yeah, absolutely. That was also the picture that you talk about, the tapestry, the picture, the grand the overview, right? That's like a grand overview, right? Yeah, absolutely. But can you give me so what I'm sharing is the timetable, the moment, the actual moment when that was received, that was brought back into the light of days, that you brought back into the consciousness purposefully in a ceremony by certain group of elders. You know what I mean?
Okay. I think I'm getting where you're going on this. From my experience, because I actually dreamt it, and I dreamt it about, I think it could have been about a year ago. Okay. I did. And on tapestry, I actually saw, I'm going to say example-wise, like Mother Mary.
Sure.
Okay. And then the next, what they took me to next was, on a mountain that was all golden. And if you can imagine sort of like an egg shape on the top of the mountain and a golden baby, and that was me. And I literally just got up and stood up, and I was just like a golden child.
Absolutely.
But that is definitely, for me personally, that's my, they were confirming to me, my past, in a sense, what they call down here past, but not different timeline to what's unfolding now.
So that was a year ago, and that would have been, well, the raising of the mother, or to become Tingiru o Te Ao, the one who threads the many colors so that there can be a tapestry. That took place in August 1986. From that time until a year ago, that's how long it took for it to catch up to you, or for you to confirm through your lessons of your current life, to realize that, okay, the tapestry is here. It is here now.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's what you're saying basically. Oh, it is all is here now. And yes, it is all here.
Yeah.
She has risen. The feminine is risen. The feminine has no need to rise because she rose. And that point that I'm talking about is 1986, when she rose, when Father helped her to stand. Father helped to bring her back into the light of days, because it was, and specifically it was, the feminine were available. The Father, who was my Huna, was my teacher, and a table of 12 elders from around the world, not just only my teacher, but teachers from the Rinpoche and the Lamas from Tibet, teachers from the Hebrew, teachers from the Arabic, teachers from the Native Americans, teachers from the Druids and the Viking teachers. They were all there, all there at the ceremony to acknowledge it.
Yes.
That was over 30 years ago.
Yes.
I'm 60 almost. Okay, so and I was 26 then.
Yeah.
Okay, now that's when I was initiated. So what I'm saying is that specific point in this very important part of humanity, in the story of humanity, it took place then. That's when the feminine rose.
Yeah.
Now, when I say this, is because the following year, okay, 1987.
Yeah.
If you're my age, you'll know it. If you're 50, you'll know it. 1987, August, the same month, the harmonic convergence became known globally, and people were in ceremony on that date. For the harmonic frequency to be reached, the harmonic frequency of the child had to be known, meaning mother and father had to birth the golden child, the child of light, in the consciousness so that the harmonic frequency could enter.
Yeah.
And now she was the mother, the Tingiro Teao, coming back into the consciousness, into the light of days, began threading and creating the tapestry.
Yeah.
The clothing for the world.
Yeah.
The many colors, the cloaks of many colors.
Yeah.
Joseph, if you like. Okay, he was also there.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I get it. Absolutely.
Mauta was there. I was also there. And in the beginning. So this wonderful confirmation by yourself, and I want to thank you for sharing the sound of the needle, the eye of the needle, and the threading and the weaving. That's exactly what took place. And after 30 years, it's exactly where we are now.
Yes.
No, I always share. Get out of the way of the mother. If you are a mother, get out of her way, and now be there.
Yeah.
Just be there, because she already rose.
Yeah.
And the masculine, the father helped to stand her and hold her up in the foundations, because that's what we do. A divine masculine is not a masculine. He's a pillar. It is not a gender thing. It's a pillar.
Yep.
The pillar of the foundations of the mother, and the mother is also a pillar. Okay, for the birth of the child of light, which is also another pillar. And the other pillar to this is to eternal memory, to always remember. That's the other pillar. It's known as the 4 pillars of creation, what we call, in my side of things in Lemuria, the 4 powers, which was being reintroduced by my Huna many years ago at a very young age. As a prophet, he was. And respected all around the world, he was. So that fully evolved tapestry, of course, it's beautiful. I mean, look at what I got here. This is beautiful too. Look at that. There's a tapestry. Those all come from there.
Yeah.
from
I
your
know.
dream. That all comes from your dream, the dream of the Technicolor dream code.
And much more.
Tapestry. The tapestry. Oh yeah, those are small words for sure.
Yeah, they're just words. I mean, at the end of the day,
Yeah.
it's what we feel, and it's a frequency, and it's a vibration.
So how did you get to be here in Dakota? Have you been following for a minute or just today? You happened to bump into us?
No, I tried to come on once before, but couldn't get on. In a sense, I've sort of like seen you about, if that makes any sense.
Yeah,
On
I was just in the UK.
Yeah, I've seen you about. Yeah.
No, I'm going to be back next weekend in Wales.
Oh, are you?
I'm
Okay.
coming into Wales. I can send you any info if you want to know what we're doing. I'm doing an incredible session in Wales.
Okay. Okay. You can send me the info.
It's on Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
So yeah.
Is that the
That's good.
13th?
No, that's the 6th, Sunday the 6th, this Sunday.
Right. Okay.
And I'll be in France on Friday.
Okay.
And then I'm going to, well, I wanted to go home, but it's like I'm going to Canada after that. So we'll see.
Okay.
But thank you for following along, and thank you for trying to get back on. And glad you made this good question and a good conversation. It's wonderful to hear that perspective of the tapestry, meaning that Mother has risen and everything is already here.
Yeah.
And we do follow that line, even though we have our missions and we have our joy in our path to go and do the things that we do. On our side of things, when I'm going to the Stargates and these things, I'm preparing so much more for the historic future as well, and the eternal infinite that is a guarantee. And on my side of, I see that as a guarantee that things will be done, that things are done, and things will hold the frequency. All tapestries to hold the frequency and hold the colors, that the colors remain bright. In other words.
Absolutely.
So there's that part of it.
Yeah.
It's fun too. Don't get me wrong. It's fun.
It is, yes. It tickles me pink. It does all the work we do.
I'm having a blast traveling everywhere, all over the world.
That
Yeah.
is absolutely brilliant.
I have to tell you, you got to know what that feels like when you're sitting with elders of another culture that respect you, just met you 5 minutes ago.
I know what you're saying. And yeah, there's a much bigger and much more confirmation is going to come. Okay.
Oh yes.
Much more. I mean,
Hope to see you out there, Nakota.
Okay.
Thank you so much for the call. I got Huna standing on by here. She's been to and froing. So hang on, Huna. To get you in here. There you made it.
To and froing or squirming.
Yeah, we are live, interactive, sometimes wriggling.
Absolutely. Well, you guys kind of covered my question, but that's okay. So I was one that wrote a tablet yesterday with some more.
Okay, that one.
No, it gets.
Okay.
Yeah, I've enjoyed the teachings and the education so much from the courses. I have literally transcribed them.
You know, that Dragon Masters it keeps on. It just keeps on giving you when you have exhausted vocabulary. It pulls you back, and there's another angle.
Yeah. I think now that you've spoken this, and I've just been feeling into what you're saying and what you're speaking with and without words today, that we just get so excited for that expansion for others, and when we go to share,
to try to share those teachings. It gets so exciting. You just kind of go, you know? And yeah, less is more. I like that.
Yeah, I
Going
mean,
from the linear to the non-linear.
exactly. I mean, it's fun, and don't get me wrong, I get a kick out of reading a lot of, all the definitions, You know, it is amusing. It's a lot of fun. Like I'm so used to not like diluting anybody's words or belittling them. I'm so used to those phrases like "tingiro te ao," or the one in the many in the one, like the Huna. The law of one is Huna. Same thing. Law of one, same thing. Huna. Because for me, I don't know, and I know, I know this. What's happening is where maritime law is being dissolved, and we're moving into the tikanga law of more common law for the globe. That the languaging must also follow that. The common language, the common sound that carried all the energies, and the common simple sounds that carry all the energy were covered over by languages and sounds that were used for whatever reason. And it took ages. It was long, thousands of years that happened until it covered over the simple, powerful energies of simplicity.
Right.
And so I'm so used to saying te ngiro te ao huna, or I will say, I te ingoa, right? In the name of. If I can say it and I say it in Swahili when I say ina itwa in South Swahili, where it's so much more powerful when I say i te ingoa, or in the name of. If I say in the name of, okay, fine, you'll understand. But eventually we're getting all these powerful sounds to come back out into humanity. This is to me where we are really moving into the age of of Lemuria 5, but also picking up Aquarius and bringing it into that higher vibration. We pick up the age of Aquarius and we're making it brighter by making things more simple, because they really are. And so, for so long we wanted to confuse things and convolute things, and all these definitions really don't need to be. But I mean, I get it. Sometimes we laugh, sometimes we cry, and you got to get it out, right? You've got to get that out of your system, right? Right. However you get that out of you, it might take a whole book, might take a series of books.
Like Tiny Meadow tapping me on the head in a dream.
Well, until you tap out.
Yeah, I think sometimes like, yeah. What's it gonna take?
Yeah. No, it's beautiful. It's all beautiful. And let that be the teacher. Let that be the teacher. I say. Yeah, I mean, I follow too as well. I follow along. I like to follow along. Not just always be pushing the limits. So
I think I feel sometimes wanting to share and create ways for others to experience expansion, like coming to the House of Huna and the expansion that I've had and how it's really helped heal and transform my life personally. I get so excited to want to share because you really want that for others. And I feel after writing that yesterday and then experiencing this today, it's like, how do we start to communicate when this is where I think I got kind of a little distorted, when you feel others want that information in that detail. Like I knew I was working with the transcriptions of the Apakura, but I also felt that it was in the Wataka. I can see what you mean about that threading. That was all one. So I knew it was in the whole education of the Dragon Master courses and the teachings through that. And yeah, I just kind of having fun with it, but I really like how do you bring so much expansion and excitement into something simple like that, where others can understand that and want to experience that. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, sure, for sure. I mean, like for many, many years, I said no, I don't want to share because I didn't think I knew how to. And I
Yeah.
was being prompted by the ascended ancestors, and they kept like, "You got to share," and I'm like, "No, I don't think so. I'm not going to do that." Because
Mhm.
I ultimately know that in that lesson of sharing, I'm going to get beat up.
Mhm.
And I did. Trust me, I did. And maybe even still do. I did. And, I would
Yeah.
say that I probably still get a few of those arrows, you know, and
Yeah.
even from inside the house of Huna, I get some of those arrows, some
Mhm.
sting. I feel a sting here and there. But it's a lot less than what it used to be. It used to be sledgehammers.
Ooh.
No, no. I mean, I was like, once I said yes, I meant no. But you got to take the hits and you got to roll. And what they were sharing with
Yeah.
me is not so much what I was going to share. And I learned that what it was about. It was about what was being gifted to me, what I was being gifted, not what I was sharing. And through
Mm.
and through that, I was being gifted so much. I can't tell you. And then I learned how to share the story. Through that pain and sorrow, I learned how to share that story. I learned how to stand on my own 2 feet, in other words, or my own stature. I learned what my stature was, and I remembering and of course, throughout life you go up and down, and your stature gets pushed down, and then you got to bring your stature back up. And I learned that the moment I did come back at it again, I could never be. I can never be. My stature can never be belittled or pushed down by any amount of arrows or sledgehammers. Not at all.
Mhm.
Not at all. And that has been this way for over 20 years. I have been in that realm of, and so not thick skinned or stubborn,
Mhm.
full of love too. I have generosity and compassion. I have compassion. I do the best
Absolutely.
I can. Um, I do try to work things so that it can be reachable. Now, this is the point of the Dragon Masters, that you become the Dragon Master and you find your way to share it. And it's going to take some sledgehammers here and an arrow there and a knife in the back or even in the foot. Yeah, get tripped up, but stay at it. And I say to you, especially, I say to you, because I congratulate you for completing the Dragon Masters Intensive. It was so phenomenal that all of you were
What?
able to get through that because it is so vulnerable, right? The intensive was so vulnerable. You were so out there in front of so many people, and they were, they just showed up because they were in that. They were like, wow, what's going on with these people? What are they doing? What is that?
Yeah.
Like, look, they're all like all kinds of shapes and sizes in the hot sun, physically doing the work, spiritually doing the work, mentally becoming stronger. Mentally, did I do this? Sorry. Mentally becoming stronger. I meant to do this. I did this. Mentally becoming stronger, and your expansion and your consciousness is so enlightening. And I want to congratulate you and thank you for a job well done. It's good to see
Thank you.
your stature, where it's moving to, where it is now, where it's standing. Your stature,
Mhm.
stand. You ask a question, you suggest something, no one likes it. Who cares? You keep pushing until you find the sweet spot. Sweet, sweet, until you find the sweet, sweet dear ones. That's all I can say to that. You know what I mean?
Being vulnerable. Yeah,
Vulnerability
that
is the
that
champion of all
vulnerability.
things beautiful. Yeah. If you're not willing to be vulnerable and willing to be sat down and in front of everybody and willing to take the hits in front of all your peers and in front of people you don't know, if you're out there to learn humility, then you go out there and you become humiliated and become vulnerable. Do it. I say, do it. Humility is the greatest lesson. Vulnerability becoming your journey upward, your way up, and it's a pathway up to your standing. You're not so that you're
Yeah.
humiliated. Even you're doing something that is more powerful than those that are watching you. Your growth.
Yeah.
Your growth.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Definitely. This Thank you for that.
Good job.
That just,
Now,
thank you.
it leads me and others and many of others who need to go to somebody they can trust. They know that they can trust you. That's why I said that. Now you are
Thank
trusted
you.
and you are respected this way. Okay. Now,
Thank you.
was there another question?
No, I just allowed that to flow and everything that came up was answered. I did have a dream where all 4 tires needed to be changed.
Oh,
That was interesting. And then last night, of course, I do a lot of chores in my sleep. Was doing laundry with a lot of people and pulling sheets and blankets. Those old blankets, those old veils, they're being washed. So
yeah.
what interested me the most was the changing of the 4 tires, which I felt was the tinira, the otea.
The other day, a few days ago, I had a dream about I was in this rectangular house, like a warehouse house where you could drive inside it, park your car inside. It was like a single story rectangular building. It had a roll up door in each direction. So 4 directions had a roll up door. And I was like, okay, if anybody was going to try to come in here and get me, try to catch me or chase me, I can open up one of the doors and I can escape out a different door. So I can open up 2 doors, one in a different direction and escape out that door and then close them in there and lock them inside. Now I had fast cars. So I had these Ferraris and Lamborghinis. And so somebody was trying to break in. I jumped in my Lamborghini, started up. I opened up an escape door and I let them in the one door and I just boom, took off out the one direction, closed it, shut the whole place and locked them inside. That's the short version of it. So it's quite hilarious that that wheels and these directions, these doors, multiple directions, doors and people coming and going, trying to, well, let me say, not trying to steal anything, just trying to be a part of what I was doing, or trying to find out what I was doing.
Wow.
What interesting, yeah. All right, Huna, let's just leave it at the wheels in the cars for now because we got to get rolling. And I understand you're coming to Vancouver to cook. You're gonna be on the cooking team. I look forward to that.
All right.
I will ask for I have a couple of things I like to eat too. You know, I'm gonna share that. I will share it a little bit later.
All right. You do that. All right. Wawa.
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 Okay, that's wonderful. Okay, anybody else have a question? Otherwise, I'm good to get out of here. It's like 6:40. It's been a minute. Tamake, what do you think?
Yeah, it has been a minute.
In a minute. You getting hungry?
Not yet.
I'm getting hungry. It is dinner time. It's almost 7. What a wonderful audience and a wonderful conversation and a topic. The return of the people's voice. I mean, just say again, through the less speaking, less is more. Learning to speak so much more with few words, and I invite you to go beyond the English and beyond the Latin and move into the Lemurian and pick up some pieces here and there. The Dragon Masters course is available on my website, www. Did I get that right? World Wide Web. houseofhuna.earth. Someone was asking about attending a Dragon Master, I believe. That would have been that Louise. Make a Pathway, Louise. Let me just double check there.
We
I'm not
might
sure which one they meant.
the flyers too.
Huh?
These.
Yeah, pop those up. Let's we can leave with that as I share those, and we didn't even stop for a break, did we?
No.
Oh, to Wales. They were asking about Wales. Yes, Louise from Make a Pathway. You can attend the Wales. Huna Tamake will put the link in the video. Shoot us an email if you'd like more info. And perhaps later on you consider the seal, because I am doing seals after the dragon ride in Wales. I got a few seals to do actually, so giving that an extra day. And we also have a dragon ride in Wales. They have it in Wales. The Return of Pendragon. Of course, it's the Red Dragon of Wales. And we'll also be in France. I'm referring that as French Revolution. The French Revolution, which is what's happening now. And I'm right on. This is nuts, right? The French Revolution is happening right now. Are we speaking of all of the high vibration energies right now, even though I'm talking about these things that are on the ground? Of course we are. This is the bits and pieces in the micro level that we are navigating through and bringing forth, so we can help the macro become more apparent, which is what Nikota spoke of, the tapestry, the overview, the overlook. And I think we are rapidly moving in that direction. This week is going to be powerful for all of you. If you are invested in the reevaluation of currencies, dinar is going to be moving into another value very shortly, which will come up onto the international market for you to exchange. That's going to be an incredible value if you're holding Iraqi dinar. But also now there's some announcements going to be made with Nisara and Jasara. Those of you who are of the age from 60 and older, 61 and older, will be receiving an increase in your social benefits, social security, social insurance, whatever you call it. Those are going to increase, and then large back payments are going to be made to those accounts because of money being stolen, had been stolen over the past 30 years. Let me tell you, it's a huge thing. Those things are being announced, and the timing of them are going to be kind of known this week, as well as the release of Tier 4, Tier 4B, and also bonds. So we're looking forward. I know I keep saying this, and then it doesn't get held up. And I'm going to keep saying it too, because that's what we do. We continue inviting it. We don't give up. All right. So that's how E4 equals MC cubed is. It's all in there. I keep inviting it all. All right. Anything to share there, Tamaki? Can't hear you.
I sent you a screenshot in your signal.
Okay. What do we got?
Something very interesting.
Something very interesting. We like it.
They're doing in Kyiv.
Ah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm. Somebody mentioned the Triton or the Trident in the comments earlier, and then that came up.
Okay, so the message is Soviet coat of arms dismantled from the motherland monument in Kyiv. It will be replaced by Ukraine's Trident. Well, the whole point of it is that Russia didn't want to take over everything from Ukraine. Russia just wants to stop NATO from putting cannons and high-powered munitions on the border aimed at them. That's all they really wanted. But nobody was listening. So after 14 years, with all that nonsense happening, you're going to get upset. So like it or not like it, some things are given back to Ukraine. Not everything is being, what the media says, right? Some things are being utilized. Now, We have a Stargate. We have Stargate work to do at Kiev, and I cannot tell you exactly where it is, sweet, sweet dear ones, but I can tell you I'm looking forward to the pressure. Let's just say the pressure to be released from that area, and so the SEAL Team 1 can go in and raise the frequency of that Stargate. As we have spoken before, completing Stargate 22 was all about the Hftv running to the dove, but running with gifts, not with. And then the dove winning this, which is Russia. Russia's the dove. The Hftv is Scandinavia. Okay? And so if we can get ourselves into position to start doing the stargates for the dove and the lamb, which is in that Russia, Ukraine area, it's going to be incredible. The dove wins. Oh, one other thing, Tamaki, I'd like to share.
Mm.
So we're moving towards the solar flash on September 15th. Just as a FYI, the solar flash is a moment that is marked with solar energy, source energy. It's a moment that is being marked to share the birth of the Christ consciousness in coming into form. What do I mean? I mean to say that is the new Christmas, September 15th. That is the new Christmas. That is known as X times X mass times X mass times X mass to the power of 1,000 suns. So 1,000 points of light that was stolen by the Illuminati in those codes that they use in the Netherlands, known as 1,000 points of light. In reference to that, returning that code back to the proper alignment from the birth of Yeshua, which the birth of many of Jesus was in September 15th. That is, we understand on the Lemurian side, the true birth of the Christ. Now, why do I say that? Because that is also the birth sign of the dove. And it is in the Lemurian. In the Lemurian. In the Draconian, you have December 25, which is all about commercialism. Yes, everybody gets together and sings songs. We do that all the time. We don't need to be forced into buying things to do that, though, do we? No, we don't. And that's what happened. Now, the solar flash marks a point of the Christ consciousness being birthed into the earth, because that is the spring. And that comes from the birth sign of the dove, which is moving into the lamb, which is in September, October. October is the birth sign of the lamb. You got the lamb showing up in the Draconian, the Gregorian? No, you don't. Just a story. A lot of nonsense. But in this side of it, on the higher side, high vibration side, of which the consciousness is, be that crystal, Christ, however you want to say it. That's the true Christmas, which is X mass times X mass times mass times mass times mass. Full density and the full power of source energy. I shared this a few years ago anyway, but I'm saying it again just because that's where we're heading to, Tamaki.
Yeah, and we just had the branding changed for Twitter.
Oh, yeah.
The documentation, Twitter Inc. stopped existing a few months ago, but the public branding, like if you go to update your Twitter app, if you have the Twitter app, it will change to an X from the bird.
Wow.
And they also have the big X light up sign on top of the building. Supposedly the authorities are investigating it because they don't have the approvals for it or whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. I have a comment up here from one of the pepper camps because we were talking about the abundance, the buns, and she saw the Hftv dancing in the meadow.
That's exactly. Now, what does a rabbit with a bun on its bottom have anything to do with the abundance of energy and finances and all the things? What does it has? I suppose in a way everything, right? Because we would understand that the bunny dance. That's cool. I could have just said the bunny dance. The Hftv celebrates. That's wonderful, Huna. Was that a Hirimata? Or
Hirimata, yeah.
Hirimata did that, or Hiritama?
It was Hirimata.
Okay. Thank you, Hirimata. Yeah, wonderful. The bunny rabbit does a dance. There's your abundance right there. What is the dance for? E4 equals MC cubed. Dancing all about it. It's a dance. Dance of the hip. Perhaps we'll learn that dance. Bounce around on our bottoms. Thank you, Huna. Thank you, sweet, sweet dear ones, sweet dearly beloveds. I'm off to have some dinner. I really want to thank everybody and thank all of the sponsors and all of those who had been donating and making sure that the Hunas got home from the Stargate work. From everybody made it home, and I'm home also. One of my homes. I have many homes now. Certainly, and I look forward to checking in with you next Sunday. We'll be in the Dragon Ride in Wales, Return of the Pendragon. So I'll check in with you guys during the that hour, or maybe a little bit later, perhaps before. We'll see what the timing's like. Anything else I can share? Good to go.
No, I can't think of anything.
All right, sweet, sweet dear ones. Ciao for now. Much well was to you. Share that offering with you. And dee 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 dee.
Eee.
More better for you.